Thank you for tuning in to Summary Judgment, where Austin personal injury attorneys Josh Fogelman and Aaron Von Flatern of FVF Law discuss the ins, outs, and in-betweens of personal injury cases. Hey, Josh.
Oh, hey, Aaron.
Have you ever heard of Aaron Franklin?
You know, you're just so much better at that than me. Yes, of course I've heard of Aaron Franklin.
He lives on Shoal Creek in Austin.
That.
Don't tell anybody.
I mean,
now everyone knows.
I've hung out in those bushes. It's no big deal.
Aaron Franklin's the world famous barbecueur who, I know I just made that word up, who put Austin literally on the map for barbecue. And as somebody who was here in the 90s, I can tell you this was not a barbecue town. We were adjacent to some counties that were adjacent to the real center of the barbecue world, like out in Lockhart. But in Austin, Texas specifically, we didn't have great barbecue until a few big players showed up on the scene, including Aaron Franklin, who...
I'd argue County Line was really good. But I have a bias in favor of County Line.
Great
barbecue.
Vibe.
Good barbecue.
As producer Dave would say, I'm a vibe person.
I'm a vibes guy.
Dave's a vibes guy. Yeah.
Been to a number of
County Line is the
rehearsal dinners at the County Line.
That was my first job ever, was bussing tables at the County Line.
And that's a good...
I still eat there.
That's a great endorsement.
It isn't a great endorsement because it's a great place.
All right. Well,
I've also heard Aaron Franklin's a super nice guy, by the way.
He is. And what I was going to say about him before the County Line kind of crashed my party was that he is in it for the right reasons. This is, if you know anything about taking care of barbecue pits in order to cook the perfect brisket, you know it's an almost 24-hour job. So the idea that he created this thing that blew up and had people, to this day lining up around the block to get his brisket.
Every day.
He's either the worst planner in the world. If he was trying to create something that was going to explode and then cause him to be able to relax on a nice island in the Bahamas, he did the wrong thing. Because what he created just chained him even further, even more to those barbecue pits. But that was something, in my opinion, in my judgment, that he willingly did because he did it for the right reason. He loves the craft of barbecue. He loves the way wood and fire and smoke work. He loves the way the chemistry works and the meat and just getting the temperature perfect. And he's in it for the right reason.
He's an artist.
He's an artist. And I say all that because that's kind of what I think our vision was for FVF Law. Maybe that's
I think that's fair.
Too self-aggrandizing.
I don't think so. I mean, people don't line up around the block for our legal services.
No.
But we're pretty damn good.
We're good, and we're good because...
we care.
We care. And so
deeply.
As we started to look at how are we going to market this thing and we get off the ground and how do we get customers in and all that. And so one of the ways was to shout from the rooftops our name and hire a plane to fly a thing behind a plane to say our name, go on TV. We didn't do all that. We decided at some point, and not just you and I got to pull producer Dave into this conversation. We decided,
Caitlin, who's not here, but shout out
her loss.
The foundation,
yeah, it's her loss. She should be here getting some credit, but
for sure.
We decided we would do something different to market our services. We want to get our name out there, but why waste an opportunity to help our community? So that was I'm gonna put it that way and turn it over to producer Dave. Tell us about what it's like to be asked, about being in marketing for a personal injury law firm in Austin, Texas.
And in addition to answering that question, why don't we tell the listeners why we're talking about some of the things we're talking about today when you feel that's appropriate?
Yeah. So whenever I tell people, I'm in marketing for a personal injury firm, the first question usually is, so you do those commercials? You work on that stuff? Because that's kind of the expectation, is if, you're in personal injury and you're in marketing, well, the marketing that I see most of the time is the commercials and the billboards. And so I always have a good amount of time getting to explain and talk about what it is that I get to do and why I love what I do. I came from the nonprofit world before being with FVF because I knew that I wanted to do work that was like helpful to people, that actually made an impact, where I could see what I was doing and how it made a difference. And so that's always been a core value for me. And so when I came to FVF, it was super clear within 5 minutes of reading the reviews that this is more than just a law firm from a product perspective. And now being, on the inside, it is even more clear, especially kind of under the mentorship and tutelage of Caitlin Macaluso, who is one of the biggest proponents of doing good work in the community for the sake of it that I've ever met. And she's just continues to drive the ship of, we're going to be like charitable contributors to the Austin community. Personally, like, she herself is more involved than anyone I know, but also including all of us in that, because FVF was built on this idea that business success and civic responsibility aren't mutually exclusive. They're actually mutually reinforcing, right? And so we talk a lot about how, rising tides lifts all ships. And so we believe that contributing to the growth and the health of other organizations in this community is better for all of us. And that's good business. And the reason that we've been talking about it recently is that FVF was actually nominated for an award through the Austin Gives program, through the Austin Chamber of Commerce. And we actually won that award. And the awards were basically for businesses who are being generous in the community, meaning that their charitable work was built into their business strategy, that it wasn't just, this is a program that they do because it's good to have and it looks good, but more that we believe that a part of being successful as a business is being involved in the community giving. And that's writing checks, but it's also volunteer hours. It's showing up. It's making lunches at Ronald McDonald House. It's sorting food at the food bank. So to answer your question, when people ask, like, what is it that I do? I'm very rarely talking about making advertisements for FVF as a law firm. What I get to do is I get to tell the stories of how us as a firm spend our time out in the community. Like, a lot of the content that I'm shooting is interviewing other organizations, learning about their mission statement, right? Where the calendar for this year, we picked different nonprofits to represent each month. And so I get to go to each and every one of them and sit down with them and interview them and say, hey, what is your mission? What is it that y'all are doing? How is your mission changing the community? And how has FVF been able to help partner with them? And I just get to hear story after story of the years of impact that this firm has made, both financially, but also just relationally. Like, we have friendships with these people. These people reach out to us and invite us to things that they're just doing in their free time because there's actual connection there. And from a marketing perspective, that's the story that's really compelling. When I hear stories from clients about why FVF was so impactful in their case, they always mention outcome, but then they always also talk about how they were treated, how they were listened to, and that they loved that the people representing them were also like good people, right? And so, Josh, you were saying like we're good lawyers. I think we're good lawyers because we're good people. And that to me is the like foundation of what I get to do, is to like talk about it. We just finished an episode earlier talking about basically the problems with barratry in our culture and in the world. And it was like not lost on me that personal injury lawyers, who are typically accused of being the problem morally and ethically in our culture, are the ones sitting down with a call to action to invite others, like civilian community members, to be a part of taking up the moral responsibility to protect each other. And that's the like fabric of the character of this firm. And so I get to talk about that. And so like, this is my, 10-minute spiel when people ask me, what do you do? Well, I tell stories about how our firm and the people in this firm are doing incredible things and serving the community. And it's so encouraging and rewarding when the community recognizes us. And so the fact that FVF was honored with being able to win that award, it's really encouraging to know what we are doing is being appreciated, it's being recognized, and it kind of means that the vision that y'all have started is being successful. That's the vision is when your mission is taking place, and it's what I get to do. I love it.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the huge foundational tenets of the organization is to change the perception of personal injury law firms in the state of Texas. I mean, Aaron we talk about that all the time because it's so integral to who we are as human beings, and the importance of the message really can't be overstated in light of kind of the value and the importance of our industry and what we do to protect fellow members in our community. And when you walk into a room full of literally some of the most prominent business leaders in one of the greatest cities, arguably in the world, certainly in America, an incredibly prosperous city with incredibly successful people, and you have those people invite you onto the stage to recognize your contributions. I mean, you being one of only a handful of organizations in this great community, the tens of thousands of businesses that are here, and you get invited up onto stage. It is an incredible testament to the fact that what we're doing is really working and working in furtherance of that mission, particularly when you compound it on. And I know that we're tooting our own horn here, but we deserve it. We earned it. I mean, we've been walking the walk. But you compound that on top of other recognitions that we've gotten historically, aside from our like incredible outcomes that we've got, like our recognitions that we've gotten from organizations like the Better Business Bureau for our highest level of business ethics in the community. You really set the bar, not just for other personal injury law firms to become better stewards of the community and to take less and to give more, but really for all businesses, big and small.
Yeah, I hope this podcast is actually reaching some of the other law firms out there, because if I would implore them to consider, if you have $1 million to spend on marketing, what would be the result if you spent that $1 million and made 1,000 friends, like real friends, because you connected with organizations in your own community and put down deeper roots and made your community better? I mean, the quality of those connections compared to, we put this ad on TV and we got 100,000 impressions. Like, who cares about those impressions? Most of them were negative. Just about every single person who saw your TV ad hates you. So
they might call you, but
yeah. So how about you take that same amount of money and go make your community better? And so I'm in response to the issue of tooting our own horn. Let's just say it's a call to action. This is something that we've wanted for ourselves and we want for other law firms out there. Do better. Prove to the public that we are fighting for the little guy. That's what we do. And it's us versus these big insurance companies, these giant corporations that only answer to juries, if we're being honest. The idea that most of the public has the opposite reaction to personal injury law, that's on us. As a profession, we've done that to ourselves. And it's so easy to unwind that while also helping your community. So that's something that hopefully we're setting the standard for. And I can't thank Dave and Caitlin, Margaret, our whole team for making that vision a reality.
Yeah, and I know we're maybe trying to wrap up here, but something that I think is really important for people who are considering their options of who to refer their friends and family to, or if they need legal services or personal injury law firm themselves. One of the beautiful things about being able to sit here with you guys and toot our own horn about the recognition that we've gotten because we've earned it by giving back so extensively is when folks are considering choosing us, they get the added, aside from the fact that they're going to get phenomenal representation, as is suggested by our voluminous positive reviews, you also can understand that you're contributing to being a part of something bigger and better. And the people that you're entrusting your case to and your situation to are going to try and take that negative and turn it into something positive, not just for you, but for the community at large. And so, that choice of who you're picking up the phone and calling and who you're choosing to work with, that can perpetuate certain things. It can perpetuate more loud screaming and, really flamboyant commercials, or it can help perpetuate a sense of community and giving and rising the tide for everyone.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you also mentioned Margaret. That's something that one of the biggest lessons as an adult, as a human, as a professional, that I think I've learned so far at FVF is the idea of providing value to people is more important. Like, providing value to others is actually more important for your success than having a selfish perspective, like how can we get the most for us.
Right.
And so I've been in multiple budget meetings where we're looking at the marketing budget and we're looking at the finances and the money that's allocated towards investing in our past clients and current relationships, and just regularly being like, wait, we shouldn't be spending money there. We need to be like reinvesting in the people that trusted us. And even if it does not create any more business for us, it's the right thing to do, because there is something that kind of transcends the financial reality of the business to, this is a way that we say thank you. This is a way that we invest in people. And it's ultimately been what's been most lucrative for us, because most people want to engage, even professionally, with people that their values align with. So people want to buy from places where they're like, that organization does something that I agree with and I like, and I would rather participate with them than someone else. And I think that's also why reviews are so incredibly important to us. Not because it helps us rank better on Google and with the SEO. That's all true. But it's a resource for others who are going to need the most important help they've ever needed up to this point. And there's something that's incredibly validating and powerful about knowing that you are able to give someone something that's actually good. And so when I meet someone or I hear a story about someone who's in a car accident, the level of confidence that I feel when I say, hey, you can call this firm, that allows me to feel like I'm doing something good.
Yep.
Because of the way the organization operates. And so in a lot of ways, if a client is considering leaving a review, I would always tell them, this is your way to serve someone else like you, not to serve us. That's not primarily what this review is going to do. It's a way for you to serve someone else who is going to need the same thing you needed. And you didn't even know how much you needed it until after the fact. Help others understand why this is a place that they can be safe, both financially, but also emotionally and socially and relationally. I get those revelations sitting in marketing meetings and budget meetings sometimes, where it really is, no, we're not going to spend money there. We're going to spend money like sending gifts to, our past clients, remembering their birthday. That's not a trivial thing. We do giveaways, and someone emailed us about the giveaway to like enter, and they were just like, also, I just want to say, like, I just am still so thankful. This case closed years ago. I just will always be a champion for FVF Law because of what y'all did for me. Just unprompted gratitude.
So nice to hear.
Yeah,
and
that's why we do it.
It was before I was here, and yet I'm getting to reap the fruit and be reminded of like, this is the place that does things like that. And that is such a better way of doing work and like doing life, and you just like can go to bed so much easier knowing that like it's good stuff. And it also happens to be much better professionally.
Well, thank you, Dave, and congratulations on that award, because I think you and Caitlin really made it happen.
Absolutely agree.
Awesome.
Thanks to everyone for listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank y'all.